Things to fix up here before I hit everybody up in the stream. Got some things that fix up here. What's going on, man? Just setting some things up here before I get started. Hope you're enjoying your day, man. Just a couple things I gotta figure out here for a second. What's going on, everybody? Hope everyone's enjoying their day. Just figuring out some things here. And have to do what? Sorry, guys, give me a second here. Just fixing one last thing here. One last thing here. Love that song. What's going on, guys? Hope you're enjoying your day. I feel like I've heard that. What's the song? Oh, yeah, that song that I was playing. It's called Sonic Boom. It's the opening to Sonic CD. So, which, funny enough, they did that opening. When did Sonic CD come out? 1994? They did that opening. The ones who did the opening for Sonic Boom, the opening for Sonic CD was Toei Animation. They did the animation for that. But yeah, that's called Sonic Boom. It's from Sonic CD, that old game from the 90s that many people don't talk about anymore. But it is what it is. What's going on, everybody? Hope y'all are enjoying your day. Hope everybody's doing well. I know it's been tough for some people. That loss definitely hurt. That definitely hurt a lot of people, and I know where y'all coming from. But yeah, you got to move on from it. But more so, I feel like we got to talk about the Ravens today. What's going on, King? How you doing, man? Hope you're enjoying your day. Not going to be long here. Just have a couple things to say about just overall about last night's performance and, just moving forward what the Ravens want to do. But, yeah, there's clearly some issues. Love it. Just love how my camera is just losing itself. But It is what it is. Love it. Just ruining myself while I'm trying to do this. But yeah, Thursday night's loss. That was a tough loss. But you do end up getting tough losses, But it's not even about the loss itself. It's about how you lose, and more so how the team plays. This is weird. But yeah, last night last night's. What am I talking about? It's Saturday. Thursday night's loss definitely hurt, but there's just a couple things that was there that honestly got to be addressed. Number one was the play calling. I think everybody actually saw that the play calling, this was probably the worst Greg Roman has done this season. Like the worst game he's called. I mean, the play calling was atrocious. 0 adjustments. It was bad all around. Of course, every team, there are nights where you just come out and you just don't play well. But, the play calling shouldn't be one of those things that's just bad. If it was execution-wise, which it is partly for this, then yeah. But the play calling on Thursday was unacceptable. At some point, the Dolphins just decided to just play cover 0 and blitz every time. They were leaving the middle of the field wide open. And the Ravens did not once attack the middle of the field when they did that. That's unacceptable. That's unacceptable. You can't figure out a cover 0 blitz. They're leaving the middle of the field open. Obviously, they're going to send pressure. You have Mark Andrews, and you don't utilize the middle of the field. You don't even try to. I mean, there was no adjustments made. The play calling was the same. Offensively, they were just running the same old plays. But I think the biggest atrocity that was there last night was how much they kept trying to utilize Sammy Watkins and how many times they decided to just ignore Rashad Bateman. And I think that one was the worst one. If you watched Thursday night, you could tell that Sammy just was not ready. Like, he was not 100%. Maybe it's going to take him a little bit while to get back in that groove, but he wasn't right. He wasn't right. The minute he didn't go for that touchdown, I looked at it and said, Sammy doesn't look right. I don't know if we should just play him. We got Bateman. You can just give Bateman the majority of the snaps. But they decided to keep him in. They tried to utilize him, and it just didn't work out well. It was terrible. It was terrible. Play calling for much. There was no adjustments made. And that's been my main issue. Now, if you guys know me, obviously you do. There are two things I really cannot stand about Greg Roman. And the first one is his lack of creativity in the play calling. This guy is not creative at all. The schemes have improved, but the play calling is still the same. There's no creativity in the play calling. And I have been adamant in saying I want an offensive coordinator that can be creative with the play calling. However, when it comes to that, I can let that go because there are not a lot of offensive coordinators in the NFL that can be creative. So for me to ask to get rid of this guy specifically because he's not creative, that's a bit too much. It's a bit too much. I definitely want a creative offensive coordinator, but it shouldn't be a problem as long as the play calling is effective and, consistent for the most part. Here comes my second issue, and the main issue as to why I want Greg Roman gone for the most part, but he's not going to leave Baltimore. The second reason is it's just the lack of consistency, but more so the inconsistencies in making adjustments. The guy cannot consistently make adjustments. I'll say this, though. Last year, the issue with Greg Roman was the level of predictability in the play calling, but more so his inability to make adjustments in the game. Simple as that. This year, he's done better with that. And there have been moments where I have praised Greg Roman for actually making adjustments. There were games down the stretch where he made adjustments. However, now my issue is he's inconsistent with making those adjustments. That game against the Dolphins was a clear example of him being inconsistent in making adjustments. The fact that this defense decided to throw caution to the wind and throw cover 0 damn near every single time they could. They blitzed as many times as they could. They would just line up. Second and third down, they did nothing but blitz. And every time it would work out successfully. You can't come up with something to attack the blitz. You can't switch up your play calling. I mean, Lamar pretty much spent the entire game from the shotgun. And you can't do it. Here's the thing. Because I've been thinking about that, and a lot of us have spoken on this. Well, why don't you just put Lamar under center? I've been one to say, let's put Lamar under center. Let's roll him out. Knowing how our offensive line is, let's not have Lamar Jackson stand in the shotgun and deal with all this pressure. Let's put him under center. Let's roll him out. Give him enough time to look downfield. Similar to what the Browns love to do with Baker Mayfield. When they do that, it's very effective. And if you can give Lamar time, it's going to work. I've been speaking on that. However, I think there's a fundamental issue with that premise. And it comes down to the fact that they don't practice this stuff. One thing we've been talking about this offense doing more often is running screens. Against the Dolphins, they ran several screens. They finally listened to us and they ran screens. Did you see how poorly they were at running screens? Did you see how ineffective they were in running screens? It's clear as day they don't practice running screens. It's as simple as that. This team, this offense per se, does not practice running screens. Therefore, they are not great at running screens, so they don't run them that much in the game. So if you haven't practiced it and you're not good at doing something, you're not gonna run it. So here comes to my other thing with putting Lamar under center. I believe Lamar can play under center. However, I'm not sure this offense has had enough practice putting Lamar under center to be able to do anything. From what I've seen this season, a lot of the times Lamar is under center, he's looking to toss the ball back on a run. He's not looking to initiate play action or throw something downfield. They don't do that in the offense. They like to keep Lamar in the shotgun and run the same thing. So they don't practice these other stuff. So it's pretty much running the same thing. Everything Lamar does is just from the shotgun. At some point, you would think, put your quarterback under center, roll him out, give him some space. All the other offenses do it, and it works. But for us, it's just not there. It's just not there. So it's clear as day that the play calling is inconsistent. It's clear as day there are a lot of things that they could do with the offense that they're not doing. And it's clear as day that they just really don't know what to do consistently when they're attacked by something they're not used to dealing with. And that comes down on Greg Roman and his play calling. The schemes have improved, but the play calling is inconsistent. Last year, it was predictable and bad. This year, it's tremendously improved, credit to Greg Roman. However, now we have a new issue. It's inconsistent. I mean, we're sitting at 6-3 on the season, and that's great. That's fantastic. Despite all the injuries we had, we are 6-3. However, when you put into mind that 3 of our wins, we had to come back from being down double digits, it gives you a whole new perspective as to how this play calling has been, but more so how the execution for the offense has been. So, really, if you've looked at the Ravens' offense this year, they've had one good game of playing solid 60 minutes of football. That was the Chargers game. That was the only time the offense just seemed to get going from start to finish. Other than that, for much of this season, they've been a second half team. First half has been atrocious. Go look at the numbers Lamar puts up in the first quarter. Go look at the numbers the offense puts up in the first quarter compared to the others. I just don't know what to tell you, man. Next up is just has to deal with not being able to utilize. What about the Broncos game? Well, the Broncos game, that was another game where we weren't exactly playing well to start off. Remember, we got down early on. Like, first quarter, we did nothing, and then we were down 7-0 against the Broncos. Second quarter, we got something going, and that was where we did well. But for much of the first quarter, it just wasn't good. You know, we got too much talent right now to not utilize it. And that's another thing. I don't like when the Ravens do this with some of their receivers. They like to restrain them. They like to restrain them and slowly work them in instead of just letting them free. Rashad Bateman needs to be let go free. Let him flow in this offense. Challenge this young man. Let me show you this right now. Rashad Bateman has played 4 games with us? He's played 4 games in his career so far. He's had 4 starts. Rashad Bateman on the season in 4 games of his young career has 18 catches for 241 yards. He's averaging 13 yards per catch. Why aren't we utilizing Bateman more? Why aren't we utilizing Bateman more? I don't understand why we're not utilizing Bateman more. It's time to let this guy go. Let him go. Just let him go. Let him go and do his thing. He's ready. You guys are trying to slowly work him in, but he's showing you he can be great. You just have to let him be great in this offense. Scheme some things for him. Let him do something. Like, I don't understand what the Ravens are doing offensively. The offensive line has not been great for much of this season. It's also been inconsistent. It's been a problem. But we know part of that has to deal with injuries, so what can you do? The offensive line is what it is. It's not going to improve over time. So you have to work with this offensive line. Now, I do believe the addition of Nick Boyle will help out, because if you could have Nick Boyle and Patrick Ricard on the field together, the blocking will tremendously improve. So when Nick Boyle gets back, we will be fine in terms of improving the blocking. However, for now, you just got to manage it. Offensive line isn't playing well. They got destroyed against the Dolphins. I mean, every time the Dolphins sent pressure, that offensive line crumbled. I mean, that was just embarrassing. Execution-wise, nothing could get done. Lamar Jackson did not play his best game against the Dolphins. That's clear as day. And, of course, he definitely deserves some of the blame for, some of the throws that he made that could have been better. But you can't put all of it on him. And I know the media's probably put all of it on him. Like I tell you, you guys keep up with that. I mean, I don't care what the media says about my quarterback anymore. We dealt with this with Flacco. I'm not doing this with Lamar. So they can say whatever they want. I have other things to do than to listen to media blast my quarterback. I'll just go do something else. I have other interests and stuff to do. I'm way too busy right now to deal with the media blasting my quarterback on a daily basis. So I'm sure the media definitely did blast Lamar about that loss. I don't know. But yeah, there are some improvements Lamar has to do, of course, himself. Like, again, he could have read the blitz a little bit better. Oh, loyal to Houston, what's going on, man? Glad to see you here. You're right. He's got to read the blitz better. There were moments where Lamar did not do well in reading what he was seeing in the coverage because they were blitzing a lot. He could have done a little bit better than that. It wasn't all his fault. He was dealing with a lot of pressure, obviously, but he could have done a little bit of a better job there, which, it's fine for the most part. Obviously, the more he sees these type of coverages, because trust me, now that teams have seen that this offensive line isn't worth crap, they're going to be throwing a lot of pressure at Lamar. I would not be surprised if teams start to blitz the Ravens more, specifically because they understand their offensive line cannot hold. I wouldn't be surprised if Pittsburgh does it. I would not be surprised if Cleveland does it. I would not be surprised if the Rams do it. It could very well happen. So, I don't know what to tell you. It's just being prepared for the future, because if you thought this was bad, it can get worse. It can get worse. So, offensive line not protecting, Lamar not playing his best game, not reading the blitzes the best, which, again, he'll improve on. He always finds ways to improve, but he didn't have his best game there. We had a couple drops here and there, which, we've gotten used to by now. But the number one thing was just the play calling was terrible. The play calling was terrible. It's got to get better. Did you see Lamar get his jersey retired? Yeah, that was great. I was happy for him. That was a very emotional moment. I liked it. But the play calling it was terrible last night. I keep saying last night. It was terrible Thursday night, and that was the biggest reason we just couldn't get anything going. And I know many of us continue to scream, put Lamar under center, try to roll him out. But at the end of the day, you've got to practice that. And I don't think the Ravens really practice much. They've opened it up and improved their schemes, but it still feels like this offense is limited because they don't try anything. I think there's been one time this season where I've seen Lamar take the ball from under center, do a 3-step drop back, and throw the football. I think that's happened once this season. Everything else is just a straight-up drop back from the shotgun. They're not really switching things up. They've yet to run play action from under center. They don't do anything like this. If Lamar is under center, he's either going to keep the ball and try to go to the left or to the right, or he's just tossing it. They don't run any pass plays from under center. There's no creativity here, man.
You have to be able to do multiple things. It can't always be like Lamar's got to step there and be a drop back passer. It's just, you can't just assume that's going to work out with the way this offensive line's playing. Now, if the offensive line was blocking well, Lamar can sit in that pocket and do everything he can. He'll be able to pick apart any defense if you give him time to throw. But you don't have an offensive line like that. So that's not going to work out, which means you've got to try some other things. And that's where the issue comes in. Offensive line's not protecting. Lamar is not reading the defense as best as he can. He's got to make improvements there. At times they're not taking. At times he's not even taking the check downs. He's looking for the big play, which he has a bad habit of doing that. He's improved in that, but he still has a bad habit in doing that. Receivers dropping passes, but most importantly, the play calling isn't the best. Like, the play calling is not the best, and it was terrible. It was at its complete worst against the Dolphins, and it's been inconsistent for much of this year. So I don't know what the Ravens are gonna do moving forward. A lot of us have called for Greg Roman's job, but I've said this before. Harbaugh seems to love Greg Roman. The Ravens in general seem to love Greg Roman. Even DeCosta looks like he loves Greg Roman. So I just don't see how Roman's gonna be let go of. Now, me personally, again, you don't even have to look for somebody else. Like, if you choose, at this point, you could get rid of Greg Roman and then give the offensive coordinating job to T. Martin. He's had experience with that, so I wouldn't have a problem with him calling the plays. But, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. It's just, they got some things they got to work on. Last night was a perfect night for some vertical action for Bateman. They don't want to, Thursday night. They don't want to use that, and I'm not understanding what they're trying to do with Bateman. Look at his numbers, man. 18 catches for 241 yards. Every time he gets the ball, he's moving the chains. He's picking up first downs. This guy can make big plays for you, and you're not utilizing him. Why are you trying to work him in slowly? At this point, he's ready to go. Let him fly. Let him do his thing. It got to the point where the Dolphins weren't even trying anymore on defense and just sent blitz after blitz. The O-line was that bad. Smart move by them. I was saying it throughout the stream. I was disgusted, but at the same time, I was like, if I'm the Dolphins, if I'm Flores, I'm not going to stop blitzing until they show me they can beat our blitz. And they couldn't. So it's just, it was just bad. You got Bateman, Mark, Duvernay, and Prochet, and Hollywood. Why are we not taking chances against their cover zero? Go ask Greg Roman that. Because you have the weapons, you're not utilizing it. You could at least try to attack the middle of the field. You had a lot of open grass, and nothing could get done. You're telling me we can't just check the ball down there? You can't have, if they're going to blitz, you can't have one dude there? Seriously, if you had one guy there, even if it was Freeman or Le'Veon, if you have your check down there when they blitz, you can just check it down right there. Do you know how many yards you're going to gain with these guys sending everybody and leaving the middle wide open? You have your check down with Devontae Freeman over the middle with the way these guys are sending pressure. Do you know how many yards he's going to pick up? That could have been a difference maker. Never did it. And that's because, one, they never set up a check down. And two, when they did, either Lamar didn't see the check down, chose not to throw the check down, or got pressured before he can do anything. I just don't tell you, man. The only O-lineman that's been doing decent is Bozeman and Zeitler. Zeitler's been okay. Bozeman's been the best. He was on the sideline. I think he might still be hurt or something. Oh, Sammy? I don't know about Bateman. Sammy didn't look right in that game. Bateman, I'm not sure if he's hurt or not because he wasn't playing like it. So I don't know if he was. Chuck Clark keeps giving up big plays. This entire secondary has been giving up big plays. It's just not been that. And we'll get to the defense in a second. Lamar definitely has to work on taking checkdowns when they're there. Yeah. He also has to get better at reading defenses. But the number one thing is when you see like a zero, when there's an open field there, obviously you want to be able to, you can attack cover zero right there. They're sending pressure up the middle. First of all, if you can get somebody there for a check down, that's a throw you can get. But even so, you're probably going to want to attack the sidelines when it's cover zero. But you can get something quick there. You can get something from cover zero. You have to be able to attack. And you got to be quick with it because they're sending everybody. All this you're saying is probably why LJ was so heated on the sideline. Probably the most angriest I've ever seen him. I think, someone was, I don't know if it was posted, but they were actually like reading the lips of Bateman And he apparently, whatever Lamar was saying when he was heated, this man was agreeing. Bateman was like, "Thank you" or something like that. It was on Twitter. I don't remember I was seeing it, but like Bateman was agreeing with whatever he's saying. I just feel like with the way this play calling is going, man, I don't know. The receivers at some point, even though the passing game's improved and the schemes have improved, if this play calling keeps happening like this down the stretch, they're going to turn on Roman very bad. It happened last season, but he kept his job. Don't know about this season, though. The Dolphins weren't even trying to hide the blitz. The line was that bad. Yeah, they weren't even trying. It was clear. The offense play keep coming in too late with few seconds left. That's the number. Oh, boy wonder. I am so glad you brought that up because I saw some people on Twitter trying to put a lot of blame on Lamar for some nonsense, saying Lamar is the reason they lost. Lamar is the reason they lost. He can't make checkdowns. He can't do, like he not make checkdowns, but he can't read any defense. Appreciate that, Plexo, with the $1 donation. Appreciate you, man. Thanks for the support. But yeah, back to what Boy Wonder was bringing up, because that was the number one thing that was in my head when I was seeing these tweets where they're like, yeah, Lamar just can't seem to, not even about making the checkdowns, they're like, Lamar can't seem to check out of a play, or Lamar can't seem to make adjustments or audibles. And the one thing that got me, like, not even heated, but the one thing that I looked at that comment and said, you clearly don't watch the Ravens, is you're not understanding that this team takes way too long to get set. Number one, when they get into the huddle, Greg Roman is taking too long to get the play called down to Lamar Jackson. Then they're taking too long to break out of the huddle and get set. By the time they're finally set, that's like 5 or 4 seconds on the clock. Even if Lamar saw something pre-snap and would want to check out of it, he can't because there's not enough time. And if you've been paying attention to what's happened this season, when Lamar has seen something and has chosen to make an adjustment, what ended up happening? Delay of game. They're taking far too long. Greg Roman is taking far too long to get the play call down to Lamar, and Lamar and the offense are taking way too long to get set. So there's no time for Lamar to even make adjustments, even if he wanted to. If he saw something pre-snap with 3 seconds left on the play clock, the hell is he supposed to do? You got to snap the ball. We're wasting too much time, and that is a problem. That's another factor that needs to be fixed. I don't know if it's a Roman thing. I think it's a combination of Roman, Lamar, and just the team taking way too long after each play. I mean, if you saw them against the Dolphins, there was no sense of urgency. And that's how it's been for a lot of times this season. They've shown moments of urgency, but when it's just regular, no pressure or nothing, they're taking way too long to get the play call and way too long to get set. They have to get that done faster. You've got to be set with 10 seconds on the clock, so at least Lamar can look pre-snap, and if there's something he doesn't like, he can make an adjustment. So by then, you can make that change, and then we can make some play. That's why I just don't understand it, man. I just don't understand it, man. I just don't understand it. It's... They're taking too long to get set, and that's another factor that's hurting them. Personally feel like Lamar Jackson has to do everything in his power to keep his cool during games, no matter how bad it gets. The minute he loses it, the Ravens lose this game. Oh, yeah, I mean, at some point, if he gets so frustrated, you know it's going to show. Lamar doesn't do it that much, but if he's that visibly frustrated, you know they've been playing like garbage for the entire game. Like, they're showing no life. But I keep trying to tell you guys, man, Ravens fans know. And a lot of people in the live stream on Thursday night were getting on me for saying this and be like, man, we still going to blow these dudes out. Calm down, chill out, relax. You shouldn't be saying this. But I pointed this out. Ravens flock know this. This isn't just me just making it up for the sake of making it up. This has been a thing that has been consistent. When Justin Tucker misses a field goal in the first quarter, everything goes haywire for the Ravens. All of a sudden, the offense just forgets how to play football. The defense gives up big plays in key situations that end up costing us the game, and nothing goes right for the Ravens. It happens far too many times. Well, it hasn't happened that many times, but in terms of when Justin Tucker misses it on a rare miss in the first quarter, every time he does that, we're in trouble. Hell, the misses early in the first quarter have happened in playoff losses. Recent one was against the Bills. He missed those field goals in the first quarter. All of a sudden, we couldn't do anything right. It's the kiss of death to the Ravens. If Tucker's missing field goals early on, good luck doing anything the rest of the game. It's hard to get on Lamar when he's getting pressured so much. The only hope is Lamar getting better at getting out quick under pressure. Got to work with what you got. Yeah, he's got to learn to get the ball out much quicker. He's taking a little bit too long to get the ball out of his hands. Sometimes you just got to take what the defense gives you. Okay? Take that snap, 1-2, get the ball out of your hands. If it's a check down, do it. This is what Brady's been doing for 20 years. Do not keep that ball in your hands for that long. You can't be there for 3 seconds. This offensive line is not going to be able to block for 3+ seconds. Roman just needs to be the run game coordinator. He's not going to take a demotion like that. From offensive coordinator to run game coordinator, he's not going to accept that. It seemed like he walked into the game with no plan. Honestly, this team didn't look prepared to play. It's like they did it again. They played down to their competition and assumed, well, they're the Dolphins. We can beat them. Yeah, not using Hollywood or Sammy Watkins much either, but really Andrews has been used, but that was on last month or a couple weeks ago. Yeah, they haven't really been using Andrews that much lately. When you have elite players like that, let them go. Let them go off their leash and just do what they do best. Give me a second here. But yeah, it's just the offense. The offense it's a mess right now. And they need to figure themselves out. They really need to figure themselves out. Because this is an issue. Wait, why are we live? It's Saturday. I don't know, I'm just chilling. I wanted to go live last night. Well, yesterday, but I was busy because I wanted to talk about the aftermath of that game. Give everyone like 24 hours to recover from that in case some of y'all were hurt. Offensive line sucked more than play calling. Yeah, the offensive line was worse than the play calling, but both were still bad. Bateman is literally good at running slants when getting the yards after catch. I don't know what's up with Roman. I don't know why we're not utilizing our receivers the right way. "2019 showed that all Lamar needs is a good O-line. He doesn't need a great receiving core." Yeah, well, you need a good O-line and you need decent play calling. At that time, it was decent play calling because, Greg Roman's offense had not been figured out yet. After 1 or 2 years, his offense always gets figured out. It's just how it is. If we can get better or healthier on the offensive line, I think things will get better. If not, these last 8 games are going to be rough. It's already going to be rough. It's already looking rough. The longer it takes you to get set also gives the defense more time to read your offense as well. Ravens need to get set faster. That's another thing that they need to address. I'm surprised nobody has brought this up. I've yet to hear anybody really bring this up from the Ravens about, even John Harbaugh. I've not seen them bring up the fact that they're not getting set in proper time. They're taking too long to get set, and nobody's addressed it, and the problem's still there. We need to fire some coaches. Judon even said on Twitter, fire the Ravens strength/conditioning coach. He got to go because, we got this many injuries. He got to go, man. I'm kidding. I'm not going to call for this man's – well, I'm not kidding, but, I'm half kidding because, I don't know if he's all to blame for this. Sometimes injuries just happen. Injuries just happen like this. Helio, what's going on, man? What up, keeping it real? You were all ready for the tough half of the season? Our players need to be ready to go to war. I'm not. I'm ready, but I don't know if the Ravens are ready. Yeah, if Tucker isn't on, then the team starts selling. Yep. Greg Roman needs to get his ball on the field and out the box. Why is he up there like some king? Other offensive coordinators are on the field. Communicate with your quarterback. I'm sick of it. Well, Roman's not the only offensive coordinator that chooses to be in the box. He's not the only one, but again, whether he's in the box or not, it really doesn't really matter to me because there are plenty of offensive coordinators that choose to be in the box. Just you got to be better with the play calling. It's as simple as that. I'm so mad we lost about the Dolphins. It happens, man. The receivers besides Bateman also have to try to catch passes better, mainly Andrews and Hollywood. Hollywood's been up and down with his passes, not his passes, but with his catches. There'll be 2 games where he'll make great catches, and then he'll have a game where he just can't catch the football. Any chance they go deep in the playoffs? With the way they're playing right now, who knows? This team is a mystery. I don't know what the 2021 Ravens are. This is the most mysterious team in the league right now. The fact that they're 6-3, nobody understands how that ended up being the case. I just feel bad for Lamar and any other person who has to sit back and endure this amount of embarrassment. Well, Lamar right now is currently facing the Russell Wilson gauntlet because Russell Wilson has gone through this gauntlet throughout his career. You know, like for the last 5 years, Russell Wilson's been going through this gauntlet. No protection on the offensive line, not really getting much there. Defense actually been suspect for pretty much the last 5 years for Seattle. So Russell Wilson's been able to, he's just had to work with that. And, you know, he's taken the team to the playoffs. But obviously, there's only so much you can expect of one person. There is a clear reason why Seattle has not been back since they lost that defense in 2014. You know, when the Legion of Boom crashed, it was over. Russell Wilson's carrying this team, but ever since that loss in the Super Bowl, they just haven't been the same. And they've been relying on Russell Wilson to do a lot for them. And he's not going to be able to take them to a Super Bowl like that. So, and Seahawks fans know this. They love Russell Wilson, but I don't know what you can expect when the defense is suspect and the offensive line can't protect them. So Seahawks fans understand that. And that's exactly what Lamar's going through right now. So that's just, you know, it is what it is. What's going on, man? You streaming Raiders Chiefs game on Sunday Night Football? I probably will. What is up with Sammy Watkins' hands and Hollywood Brown's hands? Sammy, he's for most of the... Okay, let me get myself together. For much of the season, Sammy's hands have been there, but when it came to this game, he just did not look like he was ready to play. I don't know if they rushed him back because they wanted him... Because, again, he's also from there. I guess they wanted him to play in this Miami game, but, like, he just wasn't ready. He wasn't ready. Now, for Hollywood Brown, that's a different case. He's been up and down for much of the season in catching, which has been a problem, especially because Lamar targets him so much. You got to make these catches. I think it's a problem that Greg Roman in the box disconnected from the rest of the team. He's not the only offensive coordinator that does it. And there have been plenty of other offensive coordinators that do it, and they still have success with their offensives. So I wouldn't say he's disconnected from the team because there are plenty of other coordinators that do it. But like I'm just saying, if you're going to be in the box, I don't care if you're on the box or on the field. Your play calling needs to be consistent. Simple as that. I agree. He's got to listen to his players. He hasn't earned the privilege of being up there. Again, he's not the only one that's up there. So, I mean, if he's got to come down, every other offensive coordinator or even defensive coordinator that's in the box, they got to come down too. So, it is what it is. He's always been in the box. I'm pretty sure he was in the box when he was with Buffalo and San Francisco. So, it is what it is. Someone said fire Harbaugh. Yeah, no, that's dumb. That's not. You don't fire the head coach. He has such a... The relationship he has with Lamar is too precious for us to fire Harbaugh. It'd be stupid. That would not help the team at all. Lamar knows how to read a defense. It's just he didn't have time to make a play. So I wish the Ravens fans would stop saying he doesn't know. I mean, well, I don't think Ravens fans are saying he doesn't know how to read a defense. Obviously, we know he knows how to read a defense. There is clear film that he can read a defense. Hell, I've been one to say that he can read a defense really good. He's one of the better quarterbacks in the league that knows how to read a defense and react to it. However, you know, this season it's harder to do that when you're under pressure. However, even though he can read a defense and he's done relatively well with that, there are still plenty of aspects in reading a defense that he can improve on. He's still a young quarterback. I know he's 4 years into his career, but he's still a young quarterback. He's not perfect at this. There are still aspects of the game that he doesn't know. So he knows how to read a defense, but he needs to improve in certain aspects in reading a defense, just like any other young quarterback. Despite our defense actually making some good plays on Thursday Night Football, who do you think has to go on defense? I'm not sure who has to go on defense per se because it's tough for me to point out anybody. I know a lot of people have been looking and saying Calais Campbell's on his last legs. He's got to go. I think that'd be one person, someone to point out. I don't think these guys need to go, but for some reason the communication has not been there. The communication has not been there, and that's been a problem. Like, we saw that in the game against the Dolphins. What was it, second down late in the game? The back, they had, they motioned their back towards the left, they motioned their back towards the left side, and he just broke free, and he was wide open, and nobody looked at him. Actually, I don't even know if it was the back. I think they motioned one of their receivers to the right, and he was wide open, and Tua just hit him. Like, no one covered him. So that's just how it is. I mean, that's just how it is. Did you see Big Ben on the COVID list? I did not. Is he not playing? That's crazy. I did not know that. That might affect my prediction that I had. All right, we'll see what happens with that. But I don't know if anyone has to go just yet. It's just that there's been a lot of miscommunications. Ravens rank 30th on spending on offense for the past 4 years. Yeah, they're so cheap there. That's why my homies at the... Sorry about this.
But yeah, that's why my homies at the lunch break hot take, they always say defund the defense because we don't spend anything on our offense. Fire Greg Roman, get an aggressive offensive coordinator, and we good. I mean that would have to be a next year thing because if you fire him now, where are you gonna get the aggressive offensive coordinator? I would love him gone, but I just don't think that would work. I think a temporary solution, if you were to fire him, is to promote T. Martin to be the offensive coordinator for the rest of the season and then look for someone else. Lamar does not need a good receiving core. Lamar still needs a true baller at receiver. Bateman is showing that he can be that guy. Unfortunately, we're not using him. Or we're not utilizing him nearly as much. Lamar had all his receivers out there who came through. No one. Well, no, I wouldn't say no one. Bateman, whenever he got the ball, was coming through. Unfortunately, they were not giving. The only person I saw that was showing some heart out there for the most part was Rashad Bateman. And the sad part about it was they were not putting him out on the field. We were screaming in the live stream, put Bateman on the field. When he was on the field and Lamar was getting the ball, he was making plays. So Bateman was the only one that came through in the game. Unfortunately, they didn't want to utilize him for some reason, and I'm still not sure why. So Bateman was the only one that was really out there showing some heart. Hollywood tried to show some heart, but his hands weren't there. And Sammy clearly did not look like he was ready to play. So I don't know what to tell you about that. But Bateman definitely did show up to try and play and do something. We just didn't give him anything. Lamar's legacy should not be affected by this mockery of an NFL football team. I mean, every player's legacy is affected by where they play. It is what it is. I mean, that's just how it is. Why is this organization so cheap on offense? Because they built their franchise on defense in the run game, and they're going to stick on defense in the run game. It's like I don't think anyone really needs to go for the most part. McDiamond, what's going on, man? Hope you're enjoying your day, man. We don't care about any other offensive coordinator. We are worried about our offensive coordinator. Lamar could be telling G-Row what he sees or get the playoff faster. Yeah, well, he can still call up to the booth. They have the phones there for a reason. It's not like he has to directly be down there. And again, with the way his play calling has been inconsistent, I feel like whether he's in the booth or whether he's down on the field, it's not going to make much of a difference. His play calling's inconsistent. He could be on the field and it'll still be inconsistent. That's just how I feel. What do we have to do to get Roman out of here? Miss the playoffs? If that's what it takes, do it. I'm sorry. I mean, you would have to miss the playoffs, and this offense would have to just fall off a cliff. As simple as that. But again, Roman's not going anywhere. They love him too much in Baltimore. Like, Harbaugh loves him. DeCosta loves him. And the fact that he runs this run game, it's not going to change. It's not going to change. Not to mention, whether we don't want to use it or not, they're going to fall on the sword. I'm not saying they're going to utilize that, but we know it's already in the back of everybody's head. Well, we don't have our guys. We're injured. And that's just there. Especially when it comes to the run game. Everyone, maybe the Ravens might be like, well, Roman's doing the best he can. We understand if J.K. Dobbins and Gus Edwards were out there, the running game would have no issues. And that's kind of what sucks, man. I swear, sometimes I'd be watching these games, and I'm just like, I'm seeing these runs just get nothing, and I'm like, if J.K. was running the rock, it wouldn't be like this. If Gus had the ball, it wouldn't be like this. What type of sick, twisted faith was this, football gods? How could you take both J.K. and Gus? The hell did we do to you guys? I'm sorry, back to this. Oh, man. This is why Lamar should be traded. No, that's not why he should be traded. Why would we trade away our franchise quarterback? I said the same thing. They was getting to the line real slow, like they had a hangover partying in Miami. Too much. Yeah, I mean, they've been doing it for pretty much the entire season, so that's been an issue. Wink doesn't realize it's not 2019 no more, and we don't have Marcus Peters. Stop blitzing. That's also an issue. I'm not saying Marcus Peters was a defense because he wasn't, but Marcus Peters played such a big role because we are one of the worst teams in the league in forcing turnovers, and everybody, both on the Ravens and in the fan base, everybody knows we would have a few more turnovers if Marcus Peters was playing. Like, this team, this secondary cannot generate turnovers. They're not good at getting picks. You know who is great at getting picks? Marcus Peters. We would have a couple more turnovers if Marcus Peters was on this defense. So, missing him definitely does hurt. It hurts. You saw Lamar get his jersey retired at Louisville? Yeah, it was an emotional moment. Proud of my mans. Yeah, I heard about
Robert Woods from the Rams tore his ACL. This is the sad part, and this is the cruel fate that the football gods love to do. He tore his ACL on Friday, the same day that Odell signed with them, because Odell was talking to Ramsey, and he was like, yo, you think the wide receivers will want me to be on the team? Ramsey got up, went to the wide receiver room with Cooper Kupp and Woods and the crew, and they were like, yeah, we want you here. Come. So he signed, and then that day, that practice, he tore his ACL. The football gods can be so cruel, man. They can be so cruel. I feel like this organization wants him to fail. This organization does not want him to fail. However, they want to put the burden on him. Basically, the organization is treating him like he's like the way the Seattle Seahawks treat Russell Wilson. They're just putting everything on him and say, well, he's an all-time, well, not all-time, but actually, no. He's an all-time great talent. I'm not going to say all-time great player. You have to continue to play. He's on the trajectory of being an all-time great player and a future Hall of Famer. But he's an all-time great talent. A unique, once-in-a-generation talent. We've never had something like this in Baltimore. So we could just have him do everything, and he'll just be able to patch up some of the things that we could fix if we would invest in it, but we don't want to. Our defense is bending but not breaking. That's pretty much what it's been the entire season. Our offense is starting slow every game. We have a good defense. Our wide receivers are okay. Our O-line is very weak. That's what we need to fix. Got to fix the O-line. Play calling needs to be more consistent. Receivers, they're fine, but you just need them to catch the ball some more, but they're not doing that bad. And the defense is bend but don't break. However, they got to do a little bit better in forcing some turnovers. Real question, do you feel like Giro purposely lost this game perhaps for trying to keep his players healthy, and that's probably why we kept doing close screens? I don't think Greg Roman purposely lost this game. That would be giving him credit like, oh, yeah, he lost this game because he just wanted to get... No, he did. I'm not about to give this man credit for that. He did not purposely lose this game. He called a bad game. The play calling was terrible. That's not on him. I'm not about to make excuses for the play calling being poor. Like, well, he was trying to keep his players safe. Everyone wants to keep their players healthy, but you don't lose a game. It's different. You don't sit back and throw an entire game for the sake of trying to keep your team healthy. That's dumb. Because if that was the case, you could have done the same thing against the Colts because we were down 19. Why risk injury when you're down 19? So, no, I'm not giving Roman any passes on that. Lamar is not playing first halves particularly well, let's be honest. Yeah, Lamar, the receivers, the offensive line, the Ravens' offense has not been playing the first half well at all. Simple as that. The offensive line has not done the offense in general has been very poor in first halves. Second half is different. Big Ben is out tomorrow for, oh, damn, that's going to change everything. Actually, not really. They're still playing, the Lions? They could probably still win that game. Yeah, Lamar is not playing first half well, so Lamar is not playing first half well, or is Greg Roman starting slow? What does that have to do with Lamar? Well, it's a mix of multiple things. One, the offense as a whole is not executing well to start off the game. Secondly, Greg Roman's play calling is far too conservative in the first half. I don't know why they play like this, but for some reason they're doing it. So it's a combination of both. It's a combination of Greg Roman's play calling being a little bit too conservative and Lamar and the offense not executing on plays early on. So it's a mix of both things. Hope we get better. If our O-line somehow plays better, we're already in the playoffs. Next season we get healthy, we're going to break out, hopefully. Speaking of trades, why did Ravens not bring another offensive lineman to the team when we needed it? Well, apparently they were looking to get multiple players. DaCosta was making calls, but if you understand how DaCosta and how the Ravens play, they're not giving up a first or a second round draft pick to bring in a lineman. They're not giving up their major picks to bring in any player. This is how it is. I feel like there's a chance Lamar doesn't stay with the Ravens if something doesn't change with the draft and coaching. Imagine what other teams will offer him. Lamar, with the way Lamar's personality is and the fact that Baltimore took a chance on him when no one else was willing to do, there's no way Lamar's going to leave Baltimore. He doesn't come off like that type of player. He comes off like the type of person that's going to stay with an organization for his entire career. Like Giannis. Giannis is not going to leave the Bucks. Despite all the crap they gave him and all the, not giving him the best of help, Giannis stayed. A lot of people were like, he's gonna leave. When he was a free agent, his final year getting ready to be a free agent, everyone was like, Giannis is gonna leave, and then he signed that contract. People were like, he's gonna regret it. Next year, won the championship. So Lamar is not leaving Baltimore, despite what they throw at him. He'll just work with what they give him. Which I don't know. It's like Damian Lillard. No matter what they throw at him, he's not leaving Portland. That's just how it is. You get players like that, and Lamar is one of those type of players. Agree, but I felt like he was losing on purpose. No, I'm not going to sit there and say that man was losing on purpose. That's giving him props. That's trying to give him a pass for his terrible play calling, and I'm not going to do that. Because if he wanted to really care, if he really cared about if I'm not saying he doesn't care, but I'm saying if that was the reason he lost the game because he was focused on the safety of the players, we would have lost that game against the Colts. You're down 19. No reason to risk it. Work for another week. Yeah, the whole offense is just starting off slow. Dang, these glasses are annoying. I got to get new ones. Cardinals most likely will not have both Kyler and Hopkins again. They're a great team. They're a well-balanced team. They'll find ways to win. G-Roll does this bad again, and we may see T. Martin as offensive coordinator. I doubt it. The Ravens don't like to make those changes. Harbaugh has softened up over the last decade, if this was Harbaugh during his first 5 years, Greg Roman would have been packing. That man fired Cam Cameron midway through the season, said Jim Caldwell take over. And Caldwell took over, and we won the Super Bowl. Like, that level, that cutthroat Harbaugh, he's not here anymore. He's more chill. He's more relaxed. He's softened up a little bit, become more of a player's coach. So you're not going to see Harbaugh fire his guys. I'd be shocked to see it. Sort of miss Mark Ingram's energy. I know Jameis Winston's glad to have him. Well, Winston isn't playing because he's out for the season. So, I mean, the Saints are glad to have him, but it has nothing to do with Winston because he's not playing. When I say he probably lost on purpose, it's not me giving him any credit at all. I realize he messed up, but I just don't understand why he did what he did, period. Because Greg Roman has had plenty of moments. This isn't the first time Roman has played this bad. It's not the first time he's had this bad of a game in terms of play calling. And this isn't the first time where he just chose to stick with the game plan, despite the fact that it's not working. He's done this several times. Well, guess Rudolph is going to cause me to lose my voice tomorrow. Don't y'all still have, I don't know if Rudolph will be the backup. I know you have, someone else on that team. But then again, I don't know if they're going to want to play him. Would they want to play him? Because, I don't even know if you want to play Rudolph. Because you have other people on. You have other quarterbacks. Don't y'all have, what's his name? Dwayne Haskins. Don't y'all have Dwayne Haskins on there? Y'all could just play him if you don't want to play Rudolph. You know what Rudolph is. You can just play Haskins. I don't know what they're going to do. One thing, trading for better O-linemen, they're not doing that. The more this run game struggles, the more I miss J.K. and Gus. Me too. And I remember people saying any running back could do great things in the system. I wouldn't say it would be any running back can do great things. I wasn't one to say that they could do great things. I said they can be effective here. Unfortunately, I didn't expect the offensive line to go haywire, which it did. So it is what it is. Lamar rookie contract was $9 million, and you mean to tell me they couldn't get a top-tier roster around him? They saved plenty, but chose to budget shop. They spent most of it on the defense, so it is what it is. What does Harbaugh see in Roman that we should keep him? Again, it's the run game. I told you, this franchise is built on their defense and their run game. Greg Roman is the best running coordinator in the NFL. He's the most creative running coordinator in the NFL. We've been the best running team for the last 2-3 years. And a big part of that has to do with Greg Roman and how he schemes the run game. The Ravens love to run the football. It's what Baltimore built this franchise upon. The run game and the defense. You get a coordinator that does that, you're going to want to keep him here in Baltimore. And that's what Roman brings to the table. That's why Harbaugh and everyone else loves him. Let G-Roll pull that mess versus Steelers and Browns and he's gone. Doubt he's leaving. I want him gone, but I doubt he's leaving. It's just not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. Rudolph has been named the starter. Okay, good luck to Pittsburgh. How long until Lamar Jackson wins a Super Bowl with Baltimore, if at all? This is his 4th year. It's the 4th year in his league. I'm pretty sure Peyton Manning didn't win a Super Bowl to his 6th or 7th year. It's not like young quarterbacks just come into the league and win Super Bowls. Just because Mahomes did it does not mean it's a common thing. You understand it's maybe 5 quarterbacks in history that's won that early? Tom Brady, of course, Ben Roethlisberger, Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers. Actually, not even Aaron Rodgers doesn't count because he sat out for his first 3 years. Patrick Mahomes. Like, there are only a few quarterbacks that have won that early in their career. It's not a common thing. It took Breeze a long time to win. It took Peyton a long time to win. It takes a long time to win a Super Bowl for these quarterbacks. Just because he's in his 4th year does not mean... I hate these glasses so much. I'm getting new ones very soon. But, like, just because he's in his 4th year does not mean he has to get a Super Bowl or the time is out. The man's 24 years old. He's not even in his prime yet, technically. It's way too early on to be like, well, you're in your 4th year, man. When are you going to get that Super Bowl? It's a young quarterback in his 4th year in his career. Many of the all-time greats did not get their championships until much later. It's not common to see a young quarterback get a Super Bowl early on. That's just how it is. But the only way we get Roman out of here is if Lamar blackmails Harbaugh, saying if he doesn't fire Roman, he's going to leave Baltimore. He's not going to do that. I'll just be weird to say he's not going to do that. Speaking of those Steelers, they won't have Ben. Yeah, they won't have Ben playing tomorrow, which, again, they'll still find ways to win because that defense is good. And they're going up against the Lions. So, if the Lions win, that would be a huge W for us. In fact, it would be nice. I need the Browns to lose to the Patriots, Cincinnati to lose to whoever the hell they're playing, and Pittsburgh to lose to the Lions, just to make up for our mess that was Thursday night. Tape season, what's going on, man? I'm a new subscriber. Appreciate you. Welcome to the flock. Welcome to the squad, man. I feel so happy if the Lions got their first dub against the Steelers. Doubt that's going to happen, but it is what it is. Do you feel like the Ravens will keep Queen for a long time? I would assume so. That is your first round pick. And he's made improvements. Oh, Bengals are on a bye week. That doesn't benefit us at all. But you know what? They can't hurt. They can't improve, but they can't fall down. So, yeah, let's just see Pittsburgh and Cleveland lose their games, please. Doubt it. I think Cleveland's going to beat the Patriots, and I think the Steelers are going to beat the Lions even without Big Ben. Bateman is balling. Give him more plays. Also use Duvernay for far more than just jet sweeps. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if they're going to do that, but, like, there's some things they got to change up. What the hell's wrong with these comments? I don't know. Belichick is going to make Baker choke. Who knows? Imagine if Lamar is in the Super Bowl next year and he throws a Hail Mary with 1 second left and is caught in the end zone. Why would you want to wait till then? You want a miracle to win the Super Bowl? How about you just win the Super Bowl convincingly? The hell would I want to wait? What type of heart attack are you promoting? Not to mention, that's terrible. I would never wish that for my team. For God's sakes, the Super Bowl we won in 2012 ended up becoming a freaking crazy game that came down to the wire, all because the lights went off. And we had to make one play on 4th down, which to this day is still controversial. 49er fans are not going to let that go. But it came down to the wire. Why would I want the Super Bowl to come down to the wire if my team's playing? I want y'all to dominate, then we can laugh at everybody else and win this ring. I don't want a game to come down to the wire. That's too much. It's too much pressure. It's nail-biting. As a football fan, I love it. But if my team's in the Super Bowl, hell no, blow them out. I don't want y'all to sit there and have this game come close. Imagine if Lamar got competition now with Burrow and Mayfield. Yeah, I mean, it's a competitive division. I would assume so. Everyone has a chance to make the playoffs. I would assume he has competition. How long will we keep Gus and JK? As long as they're playing in the league? Why the hell will we lose them? You understand it took so much to keep Gus. They had to sign this man. And JK's on his rookie contract. If you're the Ravens, you want to do your very best to keep this dynamic. Based on what you've seen this year with the run game, you want to do your very best to keep this dynamic duo together. This two-headed monster needs to be together for the future. Oh my God, I'm probably gonna go watch some J.K. Dobbins and Gus. Well, like I'm gonna really go do that. Like, just go watch some J.K. Dobbins and Gus Edwards highlights because like I just miss them so much. I'm really hurt. Like, I don't even want to sit there. I just miss them. I miss them so much. It's not even funny. We would have no problems with the run game if these guys were here. I just miss them. Damn, why the football gods have to do us like that? I really miss them, man. I miss them. I miss them. I miss them. I miss them, man. I really miss them. Joe Flacco was a different quarterback in the playoffs. Yes, he was. I still hate my only Super Bowl memory, the tackle against the Rams. Yeah, that's rough. 1 yard short, that's rough. O-line will get healthier soon, plus Boyle will be back, so the protection will be better. Yeah, if you can get Nick Boyle and Patrick Ricard out there with the offensive line, that should make improvements. Greg Roman's schemes are suffocating the offense. I mean, who calls short screens and runs up the middle on multiple third and longs? Results 2-14 on third down conversions. Like I said, Greg Roman's play calling is inconsistent, and he's okay. The play calling's inconsistent, and his ability to make adjustments is also inconsistent. If the Steelers win, the Ravens lose the divisional league. That's cold. We don't deserve it right now with the way we're playing. Raiders winning tomorrow, they have a great shot. I think I picked the Chiefs, but they got a great shot. I think the Ravens are going to be 11-5. Well, I mean, we got 17 games, so either 12-5 or 11-6. I told you guys, I believe the Ravens are going to be 12-5. I picked between 11-6 and 12-5. With the way they're looking right now, they could very well be 11-6, maybe even 10-7 if they keep messing around like this. I was watching Gus and JK highlights almost every play. They would get like 7 to 8 yards per carry or a touchdown. That's why I miss those guys. Y'all forgot Lamar rookie year. If they would have played Flacco that whole year, y'all wouldn't have made the playoffs. Lamar is a winner. He's going to find a way to go to the playoffs. Oh, we're not missing the playoffs. No one says we're going to miss the playoffs. We know with Lamar Jackson, you're going to make the playoffs. When you have an elite quarterback, you're going to make the playoffs. Our problem is we've been to the playoffs multiple times now, and the farthest we've gone is the divisional round. We're not speaking about making it to the playoffs. We expect this team to be in the postseason come January, but how far can they go? Can they get to a championship game? Can they find a way to get to a Super Bowl? That's what we're worried about. Just watching highlights of JK on Ding Productions, and I'm already really sad that he's injured. Yeah, I miss him so much. Imagine that Minneapolis Miracle happened to Baltimore. How would you react? I don't know. I'd be mad. I mean, I don't even know if I'd be mad. I'd be mad at the player that screwed up, but I'd be more so just shocked. Like, what can you say when a miracle happens? You just have to sit there and say GG. You can't even be mad at that. Like, it's a miracle. Like, it's just a miracle. Lamar is the best quarterback in the division. Stop acting like Dobbins and Gus Edwards are playing. The Ravens making the playoffs is a big accomplishment with this team as currently constructed. A big accomplishment. All right, man. Okay. Let's try to break this down because I don't want to come after this dude, but let's try to break this down. So, Lamar Jackson is the best quarterback in the division. I agree. Stop acting like Dobbins and Gus are playing. I'm not acting like them. I said I've missed them, but I clearly understand who's playing for a team. Saying you're missing someone is not acting like they're on the team. You know there are differences between that. Like, I mean, Jimmy Butler didn't play tonight. I miss Jimmy Butler. He didn't play tonight against the Jazz. I missed him. I hope he gets healthy. But that does not mean I'm acting like he was on the court tonight. You can miss a player without acting like they're there. The Ravens making the playoffs is a big accomplishment with this team as currently constructed. I wouldn't really say that's a big accomplishment. Again, you understand the standards for higher level quarterbacks is different. When you're an MVP quarterback, nobody cares about the situation around you. You find ways to get to the playoffs. Now, you could consider it a big accomplishment because they have so many people injured, but everyone else on the outside is going to look back and say, well, Lamar Jackson is your quarterback and he's an MVP, and you guys ramp up how great he is, so you should be able to make the playoffs. And again, making the playoffs isn't a big accomplishment. Even I don't care how many injuries there are, it's not a big accomplishment, especially because when you look what you're missing, the stuff you're missing is from your running backs and your offensive line. You're not really missing your receivers. Lamar Jackson's been much of the run game this season, and the receivers are still there. Making the playoffs would not be considered an accomplishment at this stage when you have an MVP quarterback. Like when the 2016 Packers, when they were going through injuries and they were 4-6 on the season, and Rodgers ran the table, put up 40 touchdowns, and got there. It's I mean, you can't really sit. No one was sitting there saying, "Wow, it's very impressive that they managed to make the playoffs." They were just saying, well, Aaron Rodgers is Aaron Rodgers. Running the table, he's done that before. He should be able to do it. Now, making it to the Super Bowl, that's different. Now, that's a different thing. If the Ravens make the Super Bowl with this roster, that's a big accomplishment. But making the playoffs, when you have an MVP quarterback, you're expected to win 10, 11 games each season. So, no matter what the situation is injury-wise, you understand your MVP quarterback should be able to make up for some of the things that's there. Plenty of seasons I've seen Russell Wilson work with little to nothing, and he's gotten them to the playoffs. So when you're a high-level quarterback, you're held to a different standard. So it wouldn't be considered a big accomplishment making the playoffs when you have a quarterback that you say is a high-level quarterback. If he was a game manager and you made the playoffs with his roster, that's impressive. But an MVP quarterback, well, you're supposed to drag this team. You're the MVP. That's just how it's going to look from the outside. This team without Lamar is bad. Yeah, well, with all these injuries, I would agree. I really hope my Tennessee Titans can finally be a top contender in the AFC again. Well, once you get Derrick Henry back, that'll be the case, but I don't know if he's going to be back in time for the playoffs. We'll see how that works out. Honestly, if Derrick Henry was healthy today, the Tennessee Titans would be my favorite to get to the Super Bowl in the AFC because it's wide open. The Titans have had the right now. If you look at Tennessee, the Tennessee Titans have been the most impressive team in the AFC because they have the most impressive wins. They dominated the Chiefs. They've beaten the Bills. They put the smackdown on the Rams. If they had Derrick Henry right now, I would pick the Titans as the favorites. That would actually be a team that would be considered the favorites. But right now, without Derrick Henry, I'm not sure if I can trust this offense down the stretch to put up points. Because Matthew Stafford gifted them 14 points. So I'm not 100% sure I trust this offense enough to be able to do so. They have to prove that to me. We'll see down the stretch. I believe they're going to make the playoffs, but they have to prove down the stretch you can do that. But I just don't trust him right now. If Derrick Henry was with the Titans right now and he was healthy, they're the favorites to go to the Super Bowl. That would be my case. But right now, the AFC is wide open to me. Jawan James and McCarry are possibly back in December. That will definitely help out. Man, losing Patrick McCarry really did hurt. That Marcus Peters injury broke me so bad. And the fact that it was the day he was saying a heartfelt message to Lamar and the Ravens, he said it. Yeah, that one hurt. That one hurt. My bad, talking to him. No, you good, man. You good, Lenny. It's all good, man. He's trying to see this team do whatever. Honestly, I don't know what the season holds for the Ravens. It feels like a lost season because you're just playing against all these injuries. I believe we can make the play. I absolutely believe we will be in the postseason, but I don't know if we can make it to the Super Bowl. In fact, I'm not 100% sure we can make it to the AFC Championship game. I had us at least in the AFC Championship game this year, but with all these injuries, can we really make it there? We'll have to find out. I don't know, man. I just don't know. I really just don't know. As of now, could you see the Patriots or Chiefs being the top AFC contenders by the end of the season? I mean, they have a shot. The AFC's wide open. I don't see why not. But, I don't know. Tennessee, they have to show me it. Buffalo, they've had an easy schedule so far this season. And I just don't know. The AFC is wide open, so I don't know who. Anybody could be a top contender by the end of the season. I just don't know who to pick. Titans, Bucks are the front runners, but teams like the Steelers, Cardinals, and Rams can put a wrench into anything down the stretch. I would say for the NFC, it's interesting. The NFC, the Bucks definitely look like the front runners, and they got to be the front runners because they're the defending champions. But the Cardinals have played so well as a team that it's scary. They've played well even without Kyler Murray, and that's the sad. That's not the sad, but that's the great thing, and it's the sad thing at the same time. The fact that this team's playing well without Kyler, people are gonna look around and say, "Are you sure this guy's the MVP, or is he just maximizing the talent around him?" That's what people are gonna. That might actually end up hurting Kyler Murray's MVP chances right there. If he doesn't play tomorrow and they win again and dominate, what are you gonna say? They dominate again. They dominate the 49ers. If they win again tomorrow and they dominate, people are going to be looking around and saying, are you sure Kyler's the MVP, or is he just capitalizing on the talent around him? People are going to ask those questions. I feel Kyler deserves to be the MVP, but people are going to start asking questions if the Cardinals start winning games without him. But we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, Bucks should be the front runners. Titans definitely deserve to be the front runners. They have the most impressive resume, but without Derrick Henry, I'm not sure. That's why I don't have anyone being any front runners in the AFC. The AFC is wide open. If Derrick Henry was healthy today, Titans are the favorites. But without Henry there, I just can't pick them. And the Bills, they haven't played the best of competition. They've had a relatively weak schedule, so I don't even know how good or bad they are. The Ravens have been the most inconsistent team in the league. Patriots are slowly climbing back. Chiefs are slowly climbing back, but the Chiefs defense is still terrible. Cleveland's trying to get healthy. Pittsburgh is finding ways to win games. It's just wide open in the AFC. I just don't know who's going to win. Chargers are still there. Raiders are still there. So who knows? Can we get at least? Oh, can we at least have one game where Lamar doesn't get sacked? That's not happening. That's not happening with this offensive line. Y'all could have got OBJ to help out Lamar before he got signed. OBJ did not want to come to Baltimore. He had interest in going to the Packers. He had interest in going to the Rams. It's as simple as that. He wanted to go to Green Bay. There's no you could have got OBJ. If OBJ, guys, it ain't Madden, man. This ain't Madden. You can't just be like, well, you could have got him. He's there in free agent. Just pick him up. No. This is not Madden. The man wanted to go to Green Bay. He wanted to go to a team. He wanted to go to Green Bay. He could have accepted the Chiefs. He wanted to go to the Rams. He had choices that he wanted to go to. He hit up Green Bay. Apparently it didn't work out. He hit up the Rams. It worked out. He signed there. The man was not looking towards Baltimore. So they couldn't have gotten him even unless they were going to throw a bunch of money at him, which they weren't because they don't have that money. Nor were they going to even spend that type of money on Odell. So it just wasn't going to happen. All we can do is expect the worst and hope for the best. Pretty much. Ravens fix that O-line, then yes. If they fix that O-line, they'll be fine. I remember your sister ranting on the Rams during your Giants-Chiefs stream since they lost the Brady Super Bowl and lost their money. You suggested she bet on them against the Titans. Imagine if she did. She wouldn't have done that. She does not bet on teams that screw. If she gets screwed over once by her team, she's not betting against them ever again. Like, she will never bet with them. What's going on, Corner? How you doing, man? I predict 3 teams will make the playoffs from the AFC North. Which team is the odd man out? Well, if Cincinnati doesn't get their crap together, it'll be them. That's all I'm going to say. If Cincinnati doesn't get the crap together, it'll be all that. I think the Browns and the Bengals are going to be fighting for that playoff spot. Baltimore, at some point, they're so inconsistent, but I just don't see them missing the playoffs. Baltimore or Pittsburgh will win this division, and the other will just take a wild card spot. But if we're going to get 3 teams coming out of the AFC North, then Cincinnati needs to get their crap together now, and Cleveland better hold on to the momentum while they can. If the Ravens O-line can play at least decent for the rest of the year, Lamar will play like an MVP. I mean, yeah, he will, but I'm not worried about MVP or nothing like that. We got to win games, okay? The schedule's only going to get tougher from here. You still got to deal with the Rams. You still got to deal with the Packers, the Browns, and the Steelers twice. Like, you've got tough Cincinnati again in Cincinnati. You've got tough games to worry about. Losing this game against the Dolphins definitely hurt. What's going on, Mixes? I've been doing well, man. I've been doing well. Maybe the Steelers will be the odd man out. No, the Steelers are not going to be the odd man out. Steelers are not that good. I agree. However, the Steelers are just like the Ravens. Resilient. The Steelers are just like the Ravens. They're resilient. Who the hell turned off my internet? Oh, this is fun. Who touched the router, man? Y'all can't be touching the router at the worst moments. Are we good? Think could be back. Y'all can't be touching the router, man. At the worst moments. Who touched that? Y'all gonna cause me I'm good. Someone decided to just touch the router. If anyone mess with the router while I'm live streaming, you gonna mess with the internet. Y'all need to chill out. Who messed with the router for a quick second? If anyone's watching this at home, you get away from the router, man. But yeah. Well, I've been here for over an hour. This was supposed to be a 30-minute stream. Definitely getting ready to go off because it's almost 12. I got to get ready for tomorrow. I got to get some stuff ready and then get ready for tomorrow in the games. But which team will win the AFC West? It's up in the air right now. Kansas City is really coming back. Chargers are trying to hold on. Raiders have a great chance to do some damage. We'll see what they do tomorrow night. Ravens are good, just not healthy. As long as they have Lamar, they have a shot. The Bengals aren't bad, but they haven't looked great recently. Now, about the Steelers aren't great, but they're resilient. The Steelers are too resilient, man. I'm not even joking. They refuse to die. They're too resilient. They find ways to stay in games despite not being a great team. I don't know how they do it, but they're so resilient, and that's a problem. Even as a Steelers fan, I'm terrified for Lamar's health, especially when the Rams come around and you're dealing with Von Miller and Aaron Donald. I'm terrified for that too. This offensive line keeps playing like that. We're going to be in trouble. We better get healthy before then. Otherwise, Lamar is going to be taking some shots in that game. Steelers just need another quarterback. They can trade for Rodgers, Wilson, Watson, draft a quarterback. First of all, they're not trading for Russell Wilson because Seattle's not giving him up. Deshaun Watson, that's already a mess. They're not going to. Pittsburgh's already dealt with. I'm going to chill out on that. They're not trading for Deshaun Watson. Aaron Rodgers, they're not going to trade for Aaron Rodgers. He's going to be available soon. After this season, he will be available. So they could very well go out and get him. That's why a lot of people are thinking Rodgers will be a Steeler by June. Oh, my homeboys from Lunch Break Hot Take. What's going on, guys? Appreciate you guys stopping by the stream tonight. Will the Lions get their first win against the Steelers without Big Ben? I am hopeful. Now, here's my thing about the Lions. The Lions, for some reason, have not, over the last couple weeks, they haven't played their best football. To start off the season, they played several games that came down to the wire and played competitive. But over the last couple weeks, they've been far too inconsistent. They haven't played well, and they haven't put out a good product in general. Now, the Lions' main concern with this game is not going to be Rudolph. Their main concern has to be with that Steelers defense. And it's going to come down to Goff being able to play well against the Steelers defense. If he cannot do that, they're not going to win this game. I give the Lions a shot to win tomorrow, but I still think the Steelers are going to hold on. And it's going to be because of their defense. That defense is really good. If Goff can play well enough to beat that Steelers defense, they'll be able to win this game. But if the Steelers defense gets the best of Goff, they have no shot. So this has to be one of the best games Goff plays this season because that Steelers defense is coming in. They can make enough plays to keep the Steelers offense in it. And they can force turnovers to keep the Steelers offense in this game. The Bills' loss is similar to this loss for Baltimore. The Bills are also dealing with their own issue. I mean, their offense hasn't been the best. Josh Allen hasn't looked the greatest. He's still having a pretty good season, but he hasn't looked the greatest. And the Bills aren't exactly sure what they are as a team right now. They don't know how good or bad they are. Because as much as I see Bill fans wanting to prop up their team, when you look at who they've played and who they've beaten, then they have not played against the strongest competition. So how can you gauge how well they are? Not to mention, when you did go up against strong competition, like the Titans, you lost. So, yeah. Oh, you mean the Bills lost in the event? Yeah, I think the Bills loss is similar to the loss for this loss for Baltimore. I mean, yeah, the Browns could give y'all a hard time. If they get healthy, they'll definitely give us a hard time. Simple as that. Cleveland just needs to get healthy, and they'll give us a hard time. Pittsburgh's defense, as long as it's healthy, they're going to give us a problem because this offensive line is not healthy right now. So if the Steelers' defense is healthy, they are coming after our quarterback. Simple as that. And if the Browns get healthy, they will give us fits. Simple as that. So this division is long from over. NFC is so much better than the AFC this season. Well, yeah, they've definitely been playing the best football, of course. Looking at the Packers, looking at the Cardinals, looking at the Rams, looking at the Bucks. Yeah. You seem positive that even if the Ravens get to the playoffs, they won't win the Super Bowl. I mean, I'm not saying the Ravens can't win the Super Bowl. The AFC is wide open. That's why I still have faith in this team. Now, if I felt that this was a lost season, the heck, you scared the hell out of me. Sorry, if I felt like this was a lost season, I would sit here and just say, season's over, man. I'd just be sitting here and saying, season's over. We ain't got no shot to make it to the Super Bowl. It's a wrap. But because the AFC is so wide open, anybody can take this. And because of that fact, I feel the Ravens have a great shot to get to the Super Bowl. Now, will they win the Super Bowl? I'm not sure. The NFC's been playing so well. I feel the Rams are still going to the Super Bowl. That's my pick. And if they're there, we'll get a great gauge against the. Yeah, we got the Rams and the Packers here. We'll get a good gauge of what this team is by the time we take on the Packers and the Rams. So with the way the AFC is so open, I feel like the Ravens have a good shot to get to the Super Bowl, but I'm not sure they're going to win the Super Bowl because the NFC has just been different this year. So everyone in the AFC right now, everything's wide open. Everything is wide open. So I believe the Ravens are going to get to the playoffs, but I'm not sure they're going to win the Super Bowl. In fact, I'm not sure any team in the AFC is going to win the Super Bowl. Just based on how it's been this season. Simple as that. Oh, great. The next 3 games, Lamar has to go against Khalil Mack, TJ Watt, and Myles Garrett. Yeah, good luck to that, Lamar. With this offensive line, best of luck to you. Every team in the AFC are frauds. I wouldn't say every team. Again, if the Titans had Derrick Henry right now, I would sit there and say they deserve to be the favorite. But they don't have Derrick Henry right now, so I cannot say that. It would be a colossal failure as an organization if the Rams don't make it to the Super Bowl. I've said this right now. It'd be a failure as an organization, and this would be the biggest strike and the biggest scar to Matthew Stafford's legacy. Because he spent over a decade in Detroit, never won a playoff game, and everyone decided to give him a break because he was playing in Detroit. Now you're in LA with the most weapons you've ever had in your career and the best defense you've ever had in your career. You have these things and you can't get to a Super Bowl, Matthew Stafford? Oh my God. His legacy would be in shambles. So the pressure's on. That's why when I saw them add Odell, I said, well, Odell's going to be another weapon. But really, this just adds more pressure to the Rams and more so Matthew Stafford because his legacy is really going to be on the line. This is the best team he's ever played with in his entire career. He has weapons upon weapons upon weapons. And he has one of the best defenses in the league. If you don't make it to the Super Bowl, your legacy is going to be in trouble. They are all in. This is 2018. They've bought in. They're all in. They've thrown all their cards on the table. Draft picks? Who needs draft picks? We're going to get to the Super Bowl this year, just like they did in 2018. They went all in. Now, in 2018, they actually managed to get to the Super Bowl. We understand what happened in the NFC Championship game. It is what it is. But they got to the Super Bowl. So it worked out for them. They just didn't get that ring. They're trying this again, going all in by sacrificing their picks. If Stafford cannot deliver in the postseason, it's going to be a failure on him. It's going to be a failure on his legacy. It's going to be a failure on Sean McVay. It's going to be a failure on this organization. So that's why I got the Rams going to the Super Bowl. The pressure's on for them. They have to. They have to. In the NFC, have you given up on Washington? I've pretty much lost hope. They have maybe a chance to steal the 7th seed, but it starts with winning games, and they're just not doing that. So my optimism is wearing thin. I'm at the limit. Guys. Are the Warriors the best team in the league? They are definitely playing like it, and once they get Clay back, it's going to be a different situation. I'm telling you, the league better be prepared. Western Conference definitely better be prepared because the Warriors are not playing around this year. Bills are overrated as of now. Yeah, they haven't played against the toughest competition, so I would agree. I was predicting Ravens versus Cardinals in the Super Bowl. I mean, I don't know if the Ravens are going to get there. We'll see. But I'd say Tennessee Titans versus Arizona Cardinals in the Super Bowl. If they get Derrick Henry back, I would agree with the Titans in the Super Bowl. However, for me, I stuck with my pick, the Rams. I said they were going to win that division, and I said they were going to go all the way to the Super Bowl. Well, I mean, I picked between them and the Packers in the NFC Championship game. Potentially. Well, actually, I said it was going to be either them or the Packers in the championship game against the Bucs because there's no way the Bucs lose in the divisional round. But I think the Rams are going on to the Super Bowl. So I would say, honestly, for me, if I was to have to pick to now, then assuming Derrick Henry is ready by the postseason and he's actually good to go and he looks like Derrick Henry, I'll say the Titans and the Rams in the Super Bowl. That's just how my pick would be. But right now, I can't pick any AFC team because I don't trust anybody. Titans don't have Derrick Henry. Bills haven't played the toughest of competition. Baltimore's an inconsistent mess. Kansas City's defense is terrible. The Chargers don't look like they're ready for that stage yet. The Raiders are collapsing. The Steelers don't have the offense to compete. The Browns are injured. Cincinnati's not ready. They're still a young team. There's nobody in the AFC that really shows that they're at that level right now. The closest is the Titans, and they're not there because they do not have Derrick Henry. Simple as that. So if they had Derrick Henry, it would be it'd be that rematch. Oh man, that'd be a hell of a rematch. The Titans and the Rams in the Super Bowl. I'm not gonna lie, I want my Ravens to be there, but I would love to see the Titans and the Rams in the Super Bowl because it's the 2 weeks that will be spent. I could imagine everybody in Tennessee. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine that? The Titans and the Rams in the Super Bowl. The entire 2 weeks leading up to it, it will be nothing but the Titans replaying that Super Bowl. And they'll be sitting there thinking, 1 yard short, 1 yard short. We were 1 yard away from tying this game. We cannot let them off the hook this time. We got to get it. And Rams fans will be thinking, we beat y'all last time. We'll beat y'all this time. All the trash talk that will be there. Oh, my God. That's actually an interesting Super Bowl. That would be an interesting Super Bowl. If my team doesn't get there, well, I said I would want the Bills to get to the Super Bowl. The Ravens don't, but I might have to switch to the Titans, especially if the Rams get there. If the Rams get to the Super Bowl and the Ravens are not there, I want it to be the Titans because I would spend the whole 2 weeks talking nothing but I'll be talking trash towards both teams. Actually, I'll probably be talking more trash towards Tennessee because it'll be like, well, Tennessee, you're back here again against the Rams. Huh. Y'all remember what happened last time y'all were here, right? Y'all remember being 1 yard short, huh? Y'all going to get it done this time? Y'all going to get that yard? I don't think the Rams think that because the funny thing is they look like another second coming of the greatest show on turf. And y'all, once again, are here with another great back. Are y'all sure y'all going to get it done this time? Because you cannot break the heart of Titan fans again. If y'all lose to this team again in the Super Bowl, I don't think Titan fans will be able to maintain that. Man, I'll be talking so much trash if that happened. Oh my God, I'd be talking so much trash if that happened. Remember the last time we were in LA? I mean, y'all can bring that up, but they'll be like, well, I mean, you beat us in the regular season game. Congratulations. We beat you in the Super Bowl. Trust me, Rams fans, they will have, oh my God, Rams fans will have so much ammo. Oh my God. Like, y'all could throw beating them in LA this season. It ain't going to work out on them. They going to throw the Super Bowl right into your face. Nothing Titans fans say will be as scathing as 1 yard short. You were 1 yard short. Like, Rams fans will be running their mouth the entire 2 weeks. It would be something special. But we'll see what happens with that. I don't know who's going to the Super Bowl. I know the Bills haven't won a Super Bowl, but to have the Titans? No. Would love to see a team with Lombardi fight for it in the Super Bowl, i.e. Cards versus Bills. Be interesting. It's a toss-up for me between the Rams and the Cardinals. Both teams are playing so well. That is true. That we beat them in LA again this time for the Super Bowl. Well, I mean, hey, y'all going to be talking trash all you want. Just know that the team's going to have to prove it throughout the entire 2 weeks. You will say whatever you want. The Rams still have that Super Bowl win over you guys. So your team will have to go out there and prove it in the Super Bowl. There's nothing you can say with well, we beat you on LA this year, so we'll go out there and beat you again. That's cute that you beat us in the regular season. I mean, we beat y'all in the Super Bowl last time we met. I mean, y'all were 1 yard short, so I mean, y'all going to be 1 yard short of a ring again. I'm telling you, they're going to have the ammo. I'm not even joking. I'm talking to Rams fans. If they meet y'all in the Super Bowl, there is nothing you could say in those 2 weeks leading up to the Super Bowl that will ever harm them. Because they're going to bring up the 1 yard line, and there's nothing you can do after that. You beat them in the regular season game. They beat you in the Super Bowl. What do you do? I mean, congratulations on beating them in LA, but they beat you in the Super Bowl. And it was it was 20 years ago, but they'll still bring it up. That's the last time y'all met in the Super Bowl. Tell Wink to stop putting Owe in coverage. He led all defensive rookies in quarterback pressures and lead the Ravens in sack. Just let Owe rush it. What? I mean, well, you have to tell that to DaCosta. I mean, you can write to him. You can contact him. I don't work for the team. I can't just go tell Wink Martindale. I can't just pick up the phone and say, hey, yo, Wink, I'm going to need you to stop putting Owe in coverage. If you have a problem with that, you got to go talk. I mean, I don't like it either, but you're going to have to talk to DaCosta or John Harbaugh. I'm not on the team, man. Honestly, as long as the Rams don't have a dominant running back, I don't think they have a shot. Just not their formula. Could be wrong. I mean, I think they have a great shot. I think, again, with the way the team is, especially defensively, if you look at how the Rams were last year, the biggest reason they couldn't get to the NFC Championship game is because of the quarterback. So I feel like the Rams have a great shot to make the Super Bowl. I don't know if they're going to, but that's my pick. AFC is wide open. This is going to get really interesting. Yeah, it's going to get really interesting down the stretch. Another team I didn't bring up, Denver. They're still in it. People hyping up OBJ like he's been. I mean, they're hyping up OBJ. I don't think he's gonna be the OBJ from his Giant days, but he could still be a useful weapon here for them. We'll see what happens. Imagine if Rams-Titans Super Bowl happens with Henry and Jones both back. Oh, that'd be great. That would just add to it because now you'd have one team that's stacked with weapons versus another team that's stacked with weapons. So it would come down to the Rams defense versus the Titans defense. Who can make the better stops? Simple as that. How did Gus and MP get hurt in practice anyway? Oh, yeah, they tore their ACLs. I don't know. They were making a routine play, and then they just tore their ACLs. That's just how it ended up happening. But it's unfortunate. Anyway, Ravens have some work to do. They need to get themselves together. They have lots of work to do down the stretch. They need to figure out who they want to be because right now this Ravens team isn't great. It's inconsistent. I don't know what the offense wants to be. I don't know what the defense wants to be. All in all, this team needs to figure out what they want to be. If they truly believe they can get to the Super Bowl, they need to get themselves together now. And if that means firing Greg Roman, then so be it. Do what you need to do to get the job done. Do you think it'll be a defensive battle or a shootout? Bro, we're in the 2020s. We're in the 21st century. Well, not even 21st, but we're in the 2020s of the NFL. Of the NFL saga. They're not going to sit back and let that be a defensive battle. The league clearly promotes the offense. They don't want the defense to dominate because they're going to look at it as a boring game. So it'll be a shootout. But yeah, Ravens defense needs to figure themselves out down the stretch. But most importantly, this offense needs to figure themselves out. They can't keep playing like this. If it means Greg Roman's got to go, do what you got to do. I'm looking at Eric DeCosta. I'm looking at John Harbaugh. If you truly believe this unit can get to the Super Bowl, you need to make moves now. Whatever it means, firing an offensive coordinator, do it. Do whatever it takes to get this team the best opportunity to win a Super Bowl. Whatever you got to do. So the ball's in your court. Harbaugh, DeCosta, you guys run this, so it's up to you. Figure out what you want to do down the stretch. Figure out what this team is supposed to be, and figure out what you want them to be. Because if you believe they can get to a Super Bowl, then you need to take actions that are going to help lead this team there. The AFC is wide open this year. This is a great chance to get to the Super Bowl. Don't screw it up. It's up to you guys. But with that being said, I appreciate you guys stopping by the stream tonight. Did not think I was going to stream. I was only supposed to be here for half an hour. This turned into 90 minutes. But I appreciate you guys stopping by. I will see you guys tomorrow for some of the games. We'll see what happens here. I know Sunday Night Football should be interesting between the Raiders and the Chiefs, but we'll see how that game goes. Anyway, that's all I got for this. I will see you guys tomorrow, and I'm out of here, man. Peace.